Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, you've never watched one of my videos before, hi, my name is Kelsey. I'm so glad you decided to stop by today. I hope that you will enjoy what you see and consider subscribing. So by the time this video goes up, it will be Valentine's Day, so happy Valentine's Day. And I just thought for Valentine's Day, it would be really fun to film a video on mine and my husband's love story, how we met, how he proposed, some of the fun little cutesy details of our relationship. Now warning, this video is going to be a bit sappy, but I mean, you clicked on a video that said our love story. So I feel like you kind of had to know that it might get sappy. Now, I get really sentimental when I think back to our relationship. We had a really great relationship in the beginning. I mean, we still do. But the beginning of our relationship was just so much fun, and he honestly came into my life at a time when I couldn't have needed someone like him more. My parents had literally just split up and would end up going through a divorce, and I just really needed somebody. And so the fact that he came into my life at that exact time was just perfect. I needed someone, and he made me happy. He made me laugh at a time that was a hard time in my life. So I honestly don't know where I'd even be without him. So let's start at the beginning. The reason our paths ever even crossed was because we shared a mutual acquaintance at the time. We were teenagers, so when I actually met him, I think that I was 15 and he would have been 14. I believe it was 2004 that we met. So yeah, that would have made him 14, me 15. So that mutual acquaintance led us to becoming LiveJournal friends. Now, LiveJournal was like the Facebook of 2004, 2005. So yeah, I'm really showing my age here. But anyway, we were LiveJournal friends. Basically, LiveJournal just consisted of making posts and other people could comment on them. That was it. No like photos or really anything like that. And we would also chat occasionally on AIM or AOL Instant Messenger. That was like the big form of communication for the teenagers of this time. So yeah, we chatted on AIM quite a bit and just kind of built up a friendship. That's all it was. We were just friends. Never even knew at this point what each other looked like. We'd never met in person. We were just little online buddies or pals that communicated every so often. That was it at this point. So yeah, I had no idea what he looked like. I could just, gauge his personality, and at this point I was thinking that he was really nice, really cool. I liked him as, an online friend. So months of that went by, didn't really think anything of it. And then I believe it was March 2005 was the first time I actually ever met him in person. So I went to his church for youth group. And I guess I should preface this by saying that we had kind of developed a circle of friends from online, more than just that one acquaintance. All of us kind of got our friends talking to each other. So I was actually friends with him and a couple of his good friends. I was kind of, their online friend too. Same with a couple of my good friends and him. So we all kind of networked and knew each other. I don't know, nothing like that had ever happened before really for me, that I just kind of made all these online friends, especially guys. I was like the shyest girl ever in school. I would never, ever talk to a guy. Like, I had no male friends. If it was a guy that I would even consider liking or having a crush on, like, no, I would never talk to them. I would be way too shy. So yeah, at this point I was not interested in any of these guys. Not him, not his friends. So anyway, me and my friends went to youth group at his church, and he happened to be there. So it was the first time I met him in person and actually got to see in real life what he looked like. And he did not look like how I imagined him to look in my head. But I'm not saying that in a bad way. He was just kind of like a little nerdy. And I'm not saying like that's bad. I was kind of nerdy too. Maybe not in like the more stereotypical nerd way, but I was definitely a little nerdy. And he was kind of nerdy, and to be honest, it was kind of perfect because I always kind of had a thing for like a nerdy guy. So from that point on, I'd seen him in person. He barely spoke 2 words to me, by the way, when we actually met in person for the first time. Basically ignored me and my friends the whole time we were there. Turns out it's just because, you know, he was so shy back then. But it was definitely kind of a bummer to meet this guy that I'd talked to for months, you know, thinking he was a pretty good friend. And then he basically ignored me completely in real life. So anyway, it is what it is. So some more time passes, and basically we see each other occasionally at either a friend's birthday party, or he did end up going to my junior prom, not with me, but with someone I actually knew. And funny story, I actually went to prom with one of his best friends. Neither of them even went to my school, but they were both at my junior prom. And I remember feeling really strangely excited to see him at my prom, even though he wasn't there with me. I guess at that point is maybe when I first started entertaining the idea of feelings for him. I was kind of guarded because I didn't want to get hurt. Basically every guy that I had ever liked up until this point didn't reciprocate. I started developing really minor feelings for him, but I wasn't gonna like act on it or tell him. I actually, throughout high school, kept a diary, and I actually wrote in my diary when I started developing feelings for him, which is kind of funny looking at back now because he's my husband. I can pinpoint exactly when I started to like him. So yes, I would even write about in my diary that I wanted to grow up and marry someone just like him. I never wrote that I wanted to date or marry him. I did have slight feelings for him, but it was like I never even thought, well, just marry him. I never really thought that was an option. It was just like, obviously I'm not gonna marry him because I'm 15, 16, however old I am at this point. Like, nobody marries someone that they met when they were 16, right? I was just like, I want to grow up and marry someone like him because he's sweet and funny and nice, and he made me feel really comfortable around him. But anyway, nothing came from that. Okay, so the pivotal moment, I'm not sure what changed, but it was August 5th, 2006. I ended up going to one of his friends' birthday parties. I'm not even sure if I was actually invited to this party. I feel like I wasn't. But I ended up running into one of our mutual friends at the fair. I happened to be at the fair with my dad and my brother, and I ran into my friend at the fair. She's like, hey, are you going to so-and-so's birthday party later today? And I was like, no. Not even sure I knew about it or was invited. And she's like, please, will you go with me? You should go with me. Convinced me to go. And Josh was there, obviously. And I don't know, I left that party, and he started, you know, throughout the next few days, he started chatting me on AIM more frequently. It seemed like every time I logged into AIM, there was Josh sending me a message and inviting me to more things. And I caught on really quickly that he was catching feelings for me. I could tell that he liked me. And to be honest, I was really happy. I liked all the attention he was giving me, and I had always liked him. Maybe not super strong feelings or like a huge crush on him, but I always liked him. He just decided at that party, randomly, party that I wasn't even gonna go to, that he liked me and he had this huge crush on me. And it actually was perfect because the next month when the new school year started, this had nothing to do with me, by the way. This was already in the works before he got the crush on me, but he was transferring to my school. So we ended up going to high school together for my senior year. And it was one day at school, we were gonna go to our first class. I turn around to walk away. He calls me back. I turn around and he handed me a note. And I kind of knew what it was gonna say because I knew from talking to one of our mutual friends, one of my close friends at the time. She was kind of telling me, you know, he has a huge crush on you and he's just too shy to ask you out. He might do it in a wimpy way. So I kind of figured when I got that note that maybe it was gonna be a note asking me out, and it was. And it was pretty awkward, but then when I saw him at our break, the next break we had, I just kind of walked up to him and was like, yes, you know, yes to what you wrote in your note. So awkward now thinking about it, but yeah, that's how we started dating. He wrote a note, said, will you go out with me? I said yes, and that's it. And I still have the note, by the way. So we dated for 5 years, and then in 2011, he proposed to me. It was an awesome proposal. I'm gonna insert a clip. But he planned this all out. He took me up in an airplane with a pilot, and he was kind of distracting me from thinking about that anything could be going on, because he had said, you know, we're gonna probably be flying right over my aunt and uncle's house. Let's look for it. So I'm so focused on that, like, where's the house? Where could it be? And they're like, oh, there it is. And I'm still not noticing it. Like, how did they find it so fast? And I look and I'm like, there's words like in their lawn. What does it say? And it said, Kelsey, will you marry me? In huge spray paint letters in their backyard. And I just burst into tears. I was so happy and emotional, and it was so creative, so romantic. Of course, I said yes. And yeah, we chose the very next year on the same anniversary to get married, and our wedding was beautiful. It was a beautiful September day, not too hot, not too cold. Now fast forward to today, we've been together for almost 15 years. We'll be going on 9 years of marriage in September. We have 2 beautiful children, and I still am crazy about him. He's the best match there could have been for me out there. He's funny and sweet and attractive, and we just always have a good time when we're together. Now, does he drive me crazy? Yes, he can drive me crazy. There are things about him, of course. There are things in any marriage or relationship where the person is going to drive you crazy. And I know there are things I do that drive him crazy. But at the end of the day, we just have a good time together, and we're a great match. So we're in it for the long haul. And I actually have some of our sentimental things here that I was going to show you, because I told you this is going to get sappy. So these are the different flowers. Like, these are the corsages that he bought me. We ended up going to 2 proms together. So I've got both of the corsages. These are just different flowers he gave me for different anniversaries. Pregnancy tests from both children. Now, of course, I wasn't going to throw them away, but to not be gross, like, I removed the pee strips and sanitized them, which is a hack in case you didn't know that. You don't have to throw your pregnancy tests away, you can just remove the pee. So I can see there's a whole bunch of movie ticket stubs from movies we've seen together. I actually remember one time, obviously not the real proposal, but he handed that to me one time when we were at Taco Bell. Oh, this might be the one. This might be the one. No, that's not the one. Is it? There's the one where he asked me out. I don't know if that one's in here. Ah, there it is. There's the note where he asked me out. Different little notes he wrote for me. Here's some pictures of Mason. Ultrasound pictures. This is the receipt from when he purchased my engagement ring. These are like little stickers that we wore at our engagement party. This was on the door at the hotel from our honeymoon. This is our wedding program. Yeah, so every card that he made me, bought me, you name it, it's in here. Yeah, I told you I'm sappy and sentimental, so I keep like everything that is special. Oh, I forgot I was gonna open the note for you real quick. I'm not gonna let you guys read the whole thing, but you can see. Will you go out with me? He is a little sappy too, because here's like every card or note that I ever gave him in here. And his boutonniere from prom. So he kept everything also after all these years.
You stole my heart, what is it that you do? My life was great till you added color.